what did we do last? We did everything except convict someone for these horrible crimes against Machina.
We met a new hopeful baby for the future of Spira. We did some other stuff.
We consoled. Well, we overheard Brother confessing his feelings.
Yeah.
And Callie confessing hers, and Barkeep showing off his.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And most importantly, Becklem did a sick kick.
That's true, which is a missable thing.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's one of the things that we did earlier, like talking to Becklem through like the sphere or something, somewhere on the flowchart of all the bullshit that we were doing, is what led to Becklem. Or you know what? It might have been get like 100% in Gunner's Gauntlet.
I think it was the Gunner's Gauntlet thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I was gonna say the craziest thing about it is if you get 100 on the Gunner's Gauntlet, and you do it as soon as you're able to, and you talk to Becklem, he says, "This is the Every F and FF podcast. My name is Curtis."
You son of a bitch. There was like 3 times so far that you started something, and I was like, "Oh, he's gonna fake us out and say this is the," and then you started doing that, and you say it's like watching the end of Beyond Belief, and Jonathan Frakes is like, "Do you think that this story really happened? It could have. But not this time. Our writers made it up." And I'm like, "You motherfucker."
Had me going.
Pure fabrication.
They made it up.
But between last episode and this episode, we actually kind of had some revelations that were brought to us by Alex because of his wonderful Final Fantasy X-2 Ultimania. Ultimania, yeah.
Yeah, just the Ultimania. I'm looking at it right now, and yeah, so...
For those who don't know, the Ultimania
Alex, you're looking at the Hyrule
big...
Historia. Oh no!
It's basically like, for some reason, Japan gets like amazing, like 800-page Bibles for every single book, and some Final Fantasies, like I think 13 had 3 books.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Actually,
yeah.
this one has 3 books too, because there's one for Lost Chapter, so maybe I'll look into that one later. But there's one that comes out like in anticipation for the game that's kind of like a strategy guide, and there's one that's kind of after, which is kind of like a retrospective, and like, okay, cool, here's like all the cool Easter eggs and stuff, which and some of it feels like trivia, some of it feels like, here's some bugs we noticed too late.
Here's some features that we didn't realize we added until someone pointed it out to us.
But there's a lovely section here, a few hundred page, or maybe not a few hundred pages, but a whole thing about the episode completion with a whole flowcharts. And I'm realizing there are, like, because we're following the 100% and achievement guide. So there's a lot of extra stuff that we're doing that we aren't realizing. There's a lot of factors that a lot of stuff that we're kind of taking for granted that we're just doing because we're doing it this way.
We're following the recipe, but we don't really know what any of these flavors are. So we're just hoping that it turns out okay. But it's anybody's guess. We're going full playground rules of like, yeah, Mew is definitely under the truck, but you have to do all the right things.
But like, for example, we talked about, is it Becklem?
Becklem.
Yeah.
The few factors leading up to starting at the Gunner's Gauntlet, if we beat the high score or not. And the second factor is, did we talk to Becklem through the Comsphere in Chapter 4?
Okay.
Right.
And that adds another wrinkle to it. And because of those 2 factors, we now have 4 different outcomes for that cutscene with Becklem, whether he A, hands over the Comsphere and does a cool flip.
Okay.
B, he just does a flip.
Yo, what?
C, he hands over the Comsphere. Or B, he just gets on the ship and doesn't do anything. Like, well, see you later.
What a fucking flex to just do a flip.
Yeah, just do a flip.
I think that I saw recently that the streamer, I think his name is iShowSpeed, was fighting that like right-wing grifter streamer Aiden Ross in like a UFC thing, and like immediately choked that dude out, which is really sick. But like as they were getting ready to like start the fight, fucking iShowSpeed just did a fucking flip. And it's like, how do you compete with that? Like, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
You already lose.
But the main thing is he will not do the flip if you didn't kick his ass in the Gunner's Gauntlet. He will not humble him to do a flip.
I see.
But what's important is that if you did talk to him on the Comsphere, he will then give you the sphere with Chapu on it.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Each of those combination of things.
Yeah. So in other words, the guide that we have been following, and to no fault of anyone, obviously, is kind of just like the min-max way of like going about trying to get 100% in one playthrough, which like as we've been playing along, more and more I'm realizing like that was never really the intention of the developers, it would seem, because we also learned that there, Alex, I think you were saying how the ultimatum, what is it? How do you say it? I keep fucking that up.
Ultimania.
Ultimania. Okay, so the Ultimania kind of breaks it down. I think there was actually like a page that says like how to get 100% in like 4 hours or under 4 hours or something.
It was just 4 pages. I don't know how long it was.
Oh, maybe, yeah, I'm complaining.
Because there's a whole section like Road to 100% chapter, and there is like, if you want to do it on the first playthrough, here's how you would do it. Because like,
yeah.
It's like in the 13 Ultimate, like how to beat that giant dinosaur turtle thing in less than a half an hour.
So like, and I guess this is a good time for me to be like, I apologize for any criticism I've thrown at the game, because like clearly it's just like I'm playing it in a very it's like I am playing it in a very specific way, and like wondering like how the devs could come up with this and stuff, and it's like, oh, they came up with it because like in the same way that like I feel like Animal Crossing is a completely different game if you're like not trying to be like pay off all your debts immediately and like just run through everything, and it's like, no, you're supposed to log in a couple of like maybe an hour a day and do like a couple things here and there and just enjoy it. And it's like, that is not how I play games. I need to do everything immediately.
I'm also realizing in the Ultimate that we've been playing 100% assuming that this is the way we're supposed to like revive, spoiler, Tidus.
Yeah.
That's what I was assuming. Yeah.
Like you get the quote unquote true ending, but apparently like the only thing that factors into Tidus getting revived is can all be done pretty much in chapter 5.
Hell yeah, baby. Back on
Except
track.
for the whistling when we were in the far plane for the first time. You need to have done that.
Nice.
Which you forgot to do. Once.
Right, but I did go back and do that, so that's good.
But besides that, like that's the only thing. Like everything else you could do in chapter 5 to make sure Tidus comes back in like a final cutscene.
Yeah, so
but for 100%, there is like an extra like post credits thing, which kind of ties it all together even more.
Yeah, but
Gotcha.
it's kind of interesting how like all of the things that we were thinking is like this is dependent on you getting 100%. It's like not really, because there are other things that you could have been doing that will also, I forget if there's like a specific number of percentage or how many like dialogue things or there's like some number somewhere where it's like here's the amount that it gets you to 100% to achieve.
There are 525 lines of dialogue in this game that counts towards percentage, and you only have to do 500 of them because each line counts for 0.2%.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So it's
well, given that there's like so many lines locked behind your choice to give the orb to Bevelle, you basically have to do all of them. True.
And apparently Shinra's little we haven't really talked about all of the things Shinra has to offer besides the creature creator and Shinra's World to Everything tutorial, but there's a thing called the dossier, which is like a kind of, it's kind of like the data log. It's like, oh yeah, here's the who's who of everyone. You can kind of look at like a 3D model and there's like a little summary of who this character is, but they will say a voice line, and sometimes that voice line can count towards percentage. So if you missed something, you can go back and like through random chance, like, oh, if this just happens to be a line that I missed, Shinra might have it for me.
So, small aside, there is a song by the band Clutch called Firebirds in which he says dossier.
Oh no.
And whenever I hear it, I'm like, no.
I'm pretty sure.
Does it rhyme though?
No.
I'm pretty sure I saw Clutch at the Electric Factory. Yeah, so listen to this. August 31st, 2007, Coheed and Cambria have announced their upcoming headlining tour in support of their new full length, and it was with Clutch and The Fall of Troy, and that was wild fucking bill. No disrespect to Clutch. I think they're a very good band. They put on a very good performance, but I was 17 at the time. I'm wearing a fucking Fall of Troy shirt right now.
Yeah,
I'm just noticing. But I was a huge fan of the Fall of Troy, huge fan of Coheed and Cambria, and it started out, and the Fall of Troy got like a 30-minute set, and then Clutch got like an hour set, and then Coheed played, and I was just like, man, I really wish Fall of Troy was playing longer. So I couldn't fully enjoy Clutch, even though they were like the coolest, like modern. I mean, it's so long ago now, but like of the time, the modern day dad rock band. I love
that, like in many ways, I would say in 90% of the ways, Carl, you and I are so similar. In this one instance, we are very different.
You were like, you would have stayed for Clutch and then left.
I'd be like, Coheed, Cambrian, Fall of Troy. How delightful. I love those bands. Oh shit, Clutch.
There's something for everyone.
Something for everyone.
Should have went to that show. You were probably still in Kentucky, I would imagine. But
anyway, speaking of different outcomes, we should hit up the Mi'ihen Highroad to conclude our investigations.
Conclude the investigation.
If we did that.
Yeah.
There are 5 possible outcomes, and 3 of them can go towards a episode complete.
Right.
Okay.
Which is interesting.
But one of them in particular gets you a very, very good accessory, which is the one that we're gunning for, the one that we're going to assume is canon. And the one that I was terrified that I might have gotten locked out of. And I'm excited to let you guys know. I mean, I guess I don't really have to build it. I got the correct one somehow, even though I missed one of the choices. So that's good.
Well, yeah. So the scenes that we were viewing and the things that we've done on the Mi'ihen Highroad thus far are all weighted to one of these particular episode endings, right? So you can miss a piece or accidentally do a wrong piece, and it's still fine as long as you've built up that ending more than the other ones.
Yeah.
So, but I guess we'll get into that more when we actually get to it. So when we get to the Mi'ihen Highroad, immediately there's an Al Bhed woman there who stops us and is like, "Hey, our proprietor Rin is presenting the results of his investigation into the Highroad's troubles of late. Would you mind accompanying me to the travel agency?" And you can go with her, and if you say yes, you just appear inside the travel agency, and you have to walk over to where Titus and Yuna had that the scene right on the
the lovely little
side
over the Hori Gate, or whatever we call it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Sort of looking thing, yeah.
There was just a random NPC who said something that really spoke to my soul, which was, I must not get out enough because the journey really tuckered me out.
Oh, buddy, same.
Yeah, they were talking about going to the Far Plains concert, and I'm like, you know what? At my age now, I go to a concert and it's 10 p.m. and I'm like, oh man, I need to go to bed immediately.
Well, that would the Thunder Plains concert would be a good one for you because you came out and played one song.
Hell yes.
She came out, did one song, and then passed out. Everybody's just like, I guess you just go home.
Yeah, and showed horrifying war footage and shit.
Yeah. Actually,
by the way, so I forgot to do the Comsphere with Rin, I think, a few weeks ago. So when I came up here, the Al Bhed woman's like, "Rin, our proprietor, looked into these matters, but the investigation was inconclusive.
Oh, no.
We're still not entirely sure what happens.
Episode concluded."
I just hope this unfortunate string of events is enough to spark some sort of anti-Machina movement. And then, a little subtitle says, "They never figured out why the Machina went out of control. Strange, huh?"
Well, God, imagine playing through this game only once and never looking into how you do anything and just being like, well, that's a whole weird anticlimactic thing.
Yeah.
There's definitely someone out there who's done that. Who's like, that was stupid.
They ran out of budget. What was that movie where the guy shoots a bazooka and then it freeze frames he was brought to justice or something like that?
Oh yeah, I've heard it. Poochie died on his way to his home planet.
Yeah. I have to go. My planet needs me. Anyway, so Ren's out there, and we walk up to him, and he says, "I'm glad you're all here. I would like to talk about the recent string of incidents occurring on the high road." And then he goes through a set of bullet points, right, to try to bring it all together. He says, "First, let us discuss the circumstances." Circumstances? Let me say that one again.
Some Hypello in you.
It's pronounced dossier, Curtis.
I'm sorry. First, let us discuss the circumstances surrounding the hover crash. Marks found along the new road seem to indicate something fell from the road into the ravine below. The injured person found near the crashed hover has been identified as its pilot. And so that's that first part. Then the second one is, let us consider the runaway drone Machina. The Machina can only be configured for operation through a control panel behind the agency.
That's naturally that Wii U pad that we saw back there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Naturally, I considered that someone might have tampered with the control panel. However, after seeing a man fall off the agency's roof, another possibility struck me. As an impact, were it strong enough... Oh, I'm sorry. Say that one again.
As an empath.
An impact, were it strong enough, could also be enough to cause a machina to malfunction. Such an impact would not necessarily require beastly strength. Even someone weak could deal a forceful enough blow with a little help from nature. Suppose, for example, someone were to jump down from a great height. That would do it. And it's funny because, like, I think those are like the only 2 points that he really has, but it's enough to,
I love how
figure
just
it out.
how much like how dramatic this all is for like
Yes.
nothing. I mean, the hover crash, I guess, is a pretty big deal, but it's funny too because I'm like, here's what I have in my screenshots, but I don't know if the Nintendo Switch did the weird thing of just being like, you can't take screenshots right now.
There's a scene in all of this.
There's a lot of that, yeah.
But yeah, I do like, so like, then he like basically says like, okay, I talked to the hover pilot. They've given me some testimony, and the hover pilot ran off the road while attempting to avoid someone, and that someone was an Albed female, and it shows a picture of Riku and another Albed woman who are standing there, right?
I think, doesn't it also play like there's like a noise, like yeah, there's some like fucking it's not open source. What's the
I just played it and I know that this is not the sound, but I think of it as like the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire sting.
No, it's like the dun dun dun. It's like whatever sting there is in like a dramatic event. Like there keeps being like weird instances of there being like just like fair use or whatever, like non-copyrighted sounds.
I think it is playing
the
like music we hear when we were watching like lots of Warfage, where you hear like the kind of psycho stings, like bang,
exactly.
Bang.
Yeah,
it's just, I think it just happens to be lining up because it is like just playing throughout like this accusatory like scene.
We found footprints on one of the malfunctioning machina. Those same footprints were also found on a ledge by the new road. So, let me ask you all, has anyone recently been to the ruins at the high road's south end? And does anyone recall jumping down from a great height?
And like when he says like, has anybody been to the south end, you see like our party be like, oh yeah, we have. And then he's like, who's jumped down from a great height? And then Riku raises her hand again. And she looks around and nobody else has their hand up. And she's like, oh, no one else? Like, no one else jumping down from a great height? And he says, one final question. Would the Albed ladies please raise their hands? And Riku like puts her hand up again. And so like he's asked several questions to the people standing around them, and every single time Riku puts her hand up and she's like, oh no, like starting to realize what's happening. And like even like at the last one, she's just like, oh god, no. And Rin just goes, please try to recall what happened, Riku. Like it's like everybody knows that it was her at this point, that she's like caused all the problems.
Yeah, we do see some like replays where like the part where like after we do the Chocobo rescue mission and that hover just disappears off the bridge, we now see it like just careen, like turn away from Riku's running straight at it, and it just veers to the left, like she just does not see it, even though it is like this monstrous like 20-foot wide thing in front of her.
Yeah,
so good. She's on her phone, her AirPods are in.
Yeah.
And then of course her jumping down from that the ruins, where we hear the clang, the weird like metal bar sound effect that we hear everyone.
Yeah, it's actually her jumping on top of a machina. But like when we saw the scene the first time, it didn't show the ground that she landed on. We didn't like see her feet or below or whatever. So when she jumps down from that during the Chocobo catching minigame, she lands on the machina that causes it to go haywire and makes all the machina in the area go nuts.
We couldn't see that she was wearing sneakers for sneaking. I think there's also a part where it shows us the same cutscene that we saw like chapters ago, and then it does like a weird like rewind thing where you see her like go back up into the air and like fall back down, and then it zooms out and shows that she's like fucking up that machina.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they had to remind me, because I'm sure like if I didn't know this was going to come back around,
yeah, sure,
I totally forgot.
And then after the little flashback's done, we just hear her go, it was me. Just like freaking out. Rin says, precisely, the hover crashed while trying to avoid hitting you, and you caused the drone machina to malfunction when you landed on it. You, Riku, are the one who caused the two incidents to occur. And she like falls to her knees and says, wah.
Her face, there's like a zoom in on her face, and she just looks so distraught.
I know, it's so sad.
I am sure you meant no harm, but your carelessness invited disaster. Allow me to determine Riku's sentence, if I may.
What sentence?
And it's like very like ominous because he's like, we get the camera like from Riku's height looking up at Rin, and he's like, now for your sentencing. It's very like dramatic. And the scene just ends, and we go to the next scene where it has like Yuna and Pain are like, it's like a nice day outside, it's no longer dark, because that whole scene was done like at a dusk or whatever, right? And it's the next day, it's all bright outside, and they're like having a great time. And then Pain says, oh, I didn't expect trash duty. And we see like Riku running down the high road, and she's like picking up garbage or whatever.
I think it's just like chocobo feathers, right?
It not yet. I think it's
right.
supposedly trash. Yeah, but then yeah. So Riku finally runs up. Yuna's like, "Oh, you must be tired." And what does she say? I'm ready to.
I'm ready to drop. I think.
To me, it's eyes natto do dnop.
Same. Interesting.
We got the same primers.
Yeah, we have which is impressive, honestly.
But Rin rolls up on some chocobos. He says he like bought them from a ferry boat that they were powering. But now they're his. I don't know why. But
yeah, that was a weird, like, just non sequitur of just like, hey, do you guys remember the SS Leaky from Final Fantasy X when you went below the deck?
That's right.
And the chocobos were powering the SS Leaky?
I forgot
on
about
your way
that,
to kill it.
actually.
And it's like a quick throwback to that, but it's like, I mean, we're also on the road where there's chocobo all the time.
Oh, right. So well, he's giving them jobs because I'm guessing that's implying that he purchased them because they don't need to use chocobo power anymore.
I guess so. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess they got Machina now. Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Machina's allowed now.
Interesting.
But
No, they have the children doing it now.
But Riku's like, yeah, I'm done picking up all the trash, and Rin goes, all of the trash, and he turns around and there's just a bunch of chocobo feathers everywhere.
There's
like,
just a bunch of
down
fucking
the road.
chocobo shit all over the place.
Which I'm like, that's not trash, Rin.
No, that's biodegradable, my guy.
Yeah,
that's
my guy. It'll just go back into the earth. It's fine.
That's a high value item. You can use that to like fucking mix and get like a haste on your characters or whatever.
Yeah,
like come on, oh no.
And Yuna and Pain laugh at Riku or whatever, and Riku goes, "This stinks. Feathers aren't trash."
She's right.
She's right.
right.
And that is the end of the Mi'ihen Highroad Mystery.
And we get the Ragnarok.
The Ragnarok.
Yes.
So the Ragnarok is the item that I thought was a different item before we got here, and I was like, "Yo, we're gonna get the best item in the game." This is not the best item in the game.
This one's
it's really
pretty
good,
fucking good,
but it's not the best one. I was
right.
thinking of a different one, but this one is really good. And what does it do?
What does it do?
Oh, I was just asking. It is 0 MP for casts.
Yes, I was making sure that I was correct before saying that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I had the brilliant idea, which I think is going to work out nicely for a part that we're going to get to relatively soon because there's a lot of battles, of pairing that with the soul of Thamasa or whatever it is, where it doubles your MP.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
But because you double 0 and you got 0.
Yeah, that's math.
Oh yeah. Math is finally working for me and not against me.
It's actually a good idea. Actually, I wonder how like Black Mage is right now. I haven't used it in a while. Not since,
I also haven't used it at all, but
yeah, because I wonder if it keeps pace with some of the later.
But there's
tiers.
other stuff that you need to use MP for. But I guess the doubling magic power or whatever. But
yeah, I guess
we'll find out when we get into some serious battles.
Yeah, I guess you could be like nigh unkillable by just having a permanent white mage and just like Chiraga every turn.
Yeah, I kind of already do that with the mega potion stash.
Yeah, same.
I still managed to get killed though. My thoughts about this that I find very funny is like, hey Riku, our investigation is complete. We realized that this was all just like you being careless because you're a clumsy person and you caused these minor events that didn't actually end up being that big of a deal. So we have to punish you for it. By the way, thank you for saving the world like 2 years ago. Thank you for being a part of the party that helped save the world. We will not cut you any slack at all. You have to fucking clean up chocobo shit for the next day.
Maybe it's an Albed thing. You just wouldn't understand.
Yeah, I mean, true.
I don't know.
But in our run, we have framed Riku, or
Yes.
But what's funny is that there are different conditions that.
Oh yes.
So there are 4 other outcomes for this, and one of them is dependent on if we have Callie on the ship with us, or not.
Right.
Because Callie can be a suspect that ends up getting framed or set up. It was all started with her idea to bring back a chocobo. And now her punishment, I think, is now having to take care of the chocobo, like herself and stuff like that.
I wonder what the logic is for.
It looks like if you complete the mission without her being able to catch a chocobo, she will then start like basically getting into trouble trying to get a chocobo.
Oh, okay.
If you do the mission in chapter 2 without her getting a chocobo in the end, that is one condition.
Okay.
And there's also one whether you get to her in time is another factor.
Okay.
There's like a few other ones. Like I think there's one where the chocobo eater is the culprit.
Yeah, I know the chocobo eater can be.
And if it's the chocobo eater, Rin says, "This fiend is truly an impressive creature. It has managed to thoroughly disrupt our daily affairs, even if it was just pure luck. Fiend or not, I admire it greatly for its tenacious pursuit of its goals." It's funny, too, because as we were watching the scene, we could see the chocobo eater in like a cage. Like in like a cart.
We saw them on the comsphere, too, the little tiny one that was like chasing a...
Yeah, seagull.
Yeah, it's very cute. Like they caught it. I just love, too, that like Riku had to clean up all this stuff, had to do trash duty, when literally like it could have been this is just a natural thing that happened regardless of her being there. She was literally in the wrong place at the wrong time.
That's right. It was you, Callie.
Yes, I'm the one who did it. I thought if Machina were gone, chocobos might return to the high road.
First you knocked over the hover, then you sabotaged the other Machina. Am I correct?
Yes, but my plan worked a little too well. I didn't mean to cause such a mess.
How shall she atone for
atone
for crimes? Yeah, they basically just make her work for the agency to pay off. Like,
you have to work here for the rest of your life.
And then let's see the eater one you said, and there's apparently a way to the prophet. If you pin the prophet, here's a scrim for that. So there's like an anti machina like activist or something like that, which is kind of which is like a completely like if we do pretty much nothing.
Yeah, it's just this person, I guess. Why not? I like that this little write up here says Rin is impressed with the chocobo's eater's tenacity and grants its wish to return chocobos to the high road. However, the Albed haul the chocobo eater away, most likely to be killed. It's like, damn, that's pretty harsh. I mean, it's a fiend, so it should probably.
It is funny in the ultimate. It says like after disposing of the monster, Rin called the chocobo back to the highway.
Yeah.
It's all about like this anti-chocobo propaganda. Oh my god, they actually do the Scooby-Doo thing.
That's right, like it was me! And I would have gotten away with it too if it hadn't been for you meddling kids!
Classic. Yeah, the punishment that Rin puts on the prophet is to force him and his assistants to publicize the use of hovers and machina, which makes him an ex-prophet. It basically, he's like, now you have to like abandon your religion and become a fucking heretic. Like, I mean, like, dude, I just won't come to the high road anymore. Like,
because you have thwarted science, you must now aid science.
The Rin one's interesting. Yeah, if you pin Rin, I think this is like.
Chapter 1, player must visit the Mi'ihen Highroad. In one of the inlets to the right of the Highroad, there's an Albed attempting to synchronize Sentry Machina. The player must talk to this Albed. Chapter 2, after the Cuckoo for Chocobos mission, the player must visit the travel agency. Rin will be seen leaving it as the party enters. Chapter 3, during the mission Machina Mayhem, the player must destroy 7 or more Machina and successfully complete the mission. I think that was the one where we were like against the Albed or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then
looks like we have to have Shinra also drop a sphere in the northern part of the high road.
Interesting. Yeah, once
the one that
Machina
basically
Mayhem
Rin
mission
doesn't know about.
Yeah, the player must wait until they see. So once the like the mayhem mission is complete and the plot and you get the prize for it, you also need to wait until you see Rin walking into the frame before like confirming and leaving the mission, I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then you must walk on the new road and talk to Shinra, who will tell the party that he has dropped a comm sphere down the cliffside.
So we leave another camera, I guess, that catches Rin.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to think Rin absolutely is the motherfucker who did this whole thing, and he's just pinning it on Riku.
On whoever.
On innocent Riku.
You are suggesting that my decision to upgrade the Machina resulted in a number of casualties, and that I tried to cover it up.
You put the investigation in our hands because we were amateurs. You hoped we would botch the case. And then I kept calling you, even though I didn't have any leads. You would have objected to the meaningless interruptions if you really wanted to solve the case.
I see. It appears I have underestimated you, Yuna.
Why, Rin?
If word got out that Machina pose a danger, people would fear them and stop using them.
So Yevon's not alone in sweeping things under the rug.
I firmly believe that Machina are an indispensable part of Spira's development. Even if there is another incident, I intend to conceal the evidence.
So basically, he's like, he doesn't want things getting out of hand, and even if there was something going wrong with the Machina, he's like, that is a risk I am willing to take. I will conceal all this evidence and make sure that we can still use Machina.
What do you get if you do that?
Gippel's Sphere.
Gibble's Sphere?
There's like another like, I guess, a sphere you can watch.
What? I would have liked to have that. No.
Yeah, so basically the way that this kind of all shakes out, if the Prophet or Rin is blamed, or there's no suspect found, like I think was the case with Alex, that's when you get an episode concluded, meaning obtaining another dress sphere that we haven't gotten yet. The last one will be impossible. Apparently you can actually do that still in the International or HD remaster, though, so that's good news. And another thing is you cannot ride chocobos on the high road if the Prophet is blamed. But pinning Rin as the culprit rewards the player the Gippel Sphere and allows chocobos to be ridden on the high road free of charge.
Okay.
Which I don't think that really is that good of a reward. I don't think it's that expensive, and also I can't imagine ever really coming back here to ride chocobo unless it applies to 100% in a way I don't know yet.
Right. I'm gonna watch this scene because my boy Oren's in it.
Yo, what?
Just got a transmission. Apparently the Guado are conducting a manhunt nearby. Orders are to locate the Sumner Yuna and kill her guardians. Maybe you ought to lay low for a bit.
That advice?
No, I just don't want you stirring them up. The temples are after me too.
Then I apologize in advance.
It's just a Sphere Gippel talking to Oron before home is attacked. That's so interesting.
Yeah, it's like when we get to Beacon L Desert and like
I imagine.
Yeah, and the party's separated. You remember like we're like looking for each character. It shows what Oren is doing while we're separated, and he's talking to Gippel, and Gippel comes up to him and is like, "Hey, there are orders to find the Summoner Yuna and kill her on sight from Bavel," and Oren's like, so what are you gonna do about it? He's like, nothing. I don't like Bavel either. Fuck him.
Yeah,
you know
the temples are after me too. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, so why
just
don't
telling you to lay low?
Yeah, he tells him to lay low, and Oren goes, well, in that case, I'm sorry in advance.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my god, you're gonna go fight them. That's crazy. And
they both call each other jackasses back and forth a little bit, like a Red Foreman or a Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah. And Oren says only a jackass can change the world?
Hell yeah.
I guess.
So we gotta enlist Happy Gilmore to our party to defeat Sin. You will not make this putt, you jackass.
Oren walks off, and then the very last thing that happens is the Albed who's taking the video says, holy shit, the Guado are attacking home right now.
Yeah.
So like that's like right when that begins. So
it's so funny. There's all these different missable things.
Yeah, it's nuts.
That's crazy.
Just within one mission.
I've never seen that before.
Here's the thing. Broke, this game sucks because 100% is so obtuse and hard to get. Woke, there is nonstop replayability of this game, so it's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess you have to frame Rin, and then you get a cool little like.
I think it's not framing him. I think you just gotta finger him.
Well, I mean by framing, I mean us as the player are setting him up because it's not
framing him for the crime that he was committing. Yes, the perfect crime.
It's funny that there are like 5 like parallel events happening. It's weird. Schrodinger's
I think the thing
culprit.
is we are literally
Riku.
Yeah, well, I think the thing is we are literally causing certain events to happen or not. So I think it's one of those things that like whoever is blamed for it is like that is who did it
because we witnessed Rin committing a crime it makes the crime have happened.
Because like in Callie's route and in
that's
the
how it works. That's why witness protection is a scam. It wouldn't have happened if they didn't see it.
Yeah, because
it's like a tree falling in the woods.
In Callie's route and in the Prophet's route, they both admit to doing it. They're like, yeah, I did this. So I think that whatever route you go through is like canonically true. So in ours, like Riku really did cause it to happen. Just like in the Callie one, she really did cause it to happen. It just depends on what we as a player caused to be real.
Yeah, it's interesting because like Callie is like she admits it. She's like, yeah, I was doing this, and Rin also admits it. But Riku just is like, I fucked up. I guess I didn't mean to. So it's like I choose to believe that I guess in our timeline it definitely was like I still say Riku did nothing wrong, and Rin is just too convenient that we gathered enough evidence for Rin to get off scot-free.
This is Riku's noble sacrifice. It's like the end of Looper. Like she needs to take the fall so all these other bad things can't happen.
Yeah, I saw Looper and I genuinely do not remember a goddamn thing about that movie. Fine. Other than I thought it was cool when I saw it in theaters, whenever that was.
It's basically a Darth Vader origin story, but as a noir film.
Yeah.
If you think about it. Anyway, that's Mi'ihen. All the factors.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot
going on there.
Yeah.
But you know where there is significantly less going on. Mushroom Rock Road. Or back on the Celsius, I suppose. But also Mushroom Rock Road.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What did they say on the ship?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm looking at screenshots of Blitzball where it's just like everyone that I took was like, Shinra can't catch it. Goal. I'm like, you fucking asshole, Shinra. You have one fucking thing that I'm counting on you for and you can't even do it. It's true.
Yeah, he's too small.
He's just a little guy.
Yeah, Riku just kind of says like default dialogue here now, I think, which is, well, Uni, what do you say we take charge of cleaning up Spira? And then when you talk to Pain, she says, it's our turn to do something.
All right.
I think if there's like not anything specific to like what was just done, that might be the default one. Or it could be a reference to Riku having just cleaned up the high road. So she's like, let's clean up all of Spira.
Yeah.
The can-do attitude of turning that frown upside down and turning a bad thing into a good thing.
But there's a tournament happening at the Youth League. Now that peace has settled, it's time to kick each other's asses.
I wanted to point out real quick, this is just a personal opinion. We
don't allow those here. Every single opinion that we all have has to be shared universally, unconditionally.
Okay, well, I would like to submit. I would like to submit for the
for the council
for the council for the consideration of the hive mind.
I'm gonna before you say anything, I'm gonna say I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I'll fight anyone who disagrees.
I think that obviously Final Fantasy X was the first voice acted Final Fantasy. And this kind of coming on its heels, the second one, they got a lot of the same voice actors. I feel like American voice acting in video games at this point is not what it is today, clearly, right? However, there's a couple people who clearly have been voice actors before, like Riku's voice actor, right? Where you're like, okay, she's doing a really good job.
All these heavy hitters.
Yeah. And then I want to say that I think Elma does a fucking fantastic job.
Hell yes.
Compared to everyone else in the Youth League, her VA just like runs circles around them. Not that the other ones are like bad necessarily, but it kind of is like they're not as, I don't know how to describe it. She just seems like she is acting for a video game or a cartoon or something, and it's really good. And there's a lot of feeling in everything that she says. Like she's not just saying lines. She's like going like when she like her very first thing when we walk up, she's like, "Lady Yuna," like
yeah,
super
really,
extravagant.
Really good. It's very jarring going from Elma to like Yaibel in a couple minutes where you're like, and again, he's also a voice actor who does it, but he's always kind of defaulting into that exact voice of like the nerdy kind of annoying character.
Yeah,
which is,
or Lucille, I think is her name.
Yeah.
Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin, exactly.
Kevin, yes. But anyway, I just figured I would say that I really like her VA.
Yeah, shout out to
her name is Julia Fletcher.
Julia
yes.
Fletcher, this one's for you.
We
She
stand...
might be the voice of Darling as well, the high pillow. Like I was re-listening to it.
Oh, really?
No way. That's sick. Yeah, so 2 for 2.
It's either Lucille or Elma. Like there's a kind of they have similar kind of voice performances a little bit, but because of like the emotive, I think it's more Julia Fletcher's voice.
Hell yeah.
Did she do anything else?
She was in the Animatrix. She was in Final Fantasy Spirits Within. She was in Vampire Hunter D, which is really cool. She was in 13 as she was the voice of Orphan.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow, holy shit. Okay.
A lot of stuff. Valkyrie Chronicles. She was in 12 as Drace, Judge Magister.
Okay. I know who. Yeah.
Yeah, she has quite a
resume.
She was on Team Leska.
Pick up her stuff on Bandcamp Friday. Just her talking.
Vampire Princess Miku or Miu.
Oh, I got so
Miku?
excited. I'm like, Vampire Princess Miku.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a figure that's impossible to get from Good Smile.
Tenchi Muyo. Kiki Delivery
Yes, hell
Service.
yes, Tenchi Muyo.
A lot of stuff. Aeon Flux. Yeah, she's been in the business since.
Okay.
So yeah, it sounds like she's like an anime VA, which and to Curtis's point, I feel like back then anime VA was kind of hit or miss English because I feel like it wasn't really as big of an industry. Like now, there was always
localization costs a lot and direction, like because you're paying by like the hour for a lot of these people. Like there's a reason why I think why some we need to get this celebrity in. Why their performance isn't like as heightened as if they were like specifically cast for that role. It was just like, we need to get someone in the door.
It's an interesting industry.
Because a voice direction is its own skill too. Like sometimes you just don't really know how to like pilot, especially for games because this is a new thing. Like, we have this ginormous script with a lot of the lines are now out of context because you're doing it out of order or because you're like you have to do every single tree. It's not just like. Also, I think the voice of Oron, like this is the only video game character he ever did, probably because like, I can do that, and then he's probably realizing like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, you know what? Respect.
I think he was a TV actor mostly.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah.
I have nothing but respect for that, for going in and doing it once and being like, nope.
I have nothing but respect for people who are like, I don't feel like doing that shit.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, I love Elma. She's great. Also, have we met any young Hypello before?
No. So
they're wearing different outfits, right? Because it was very like I was looking. I was like, did they always wear that? Because that's a really good fit.
So we walk up onto Mushroom Rock Road. Right?
we got nothing but good fits this episode. We got fucking Rin last time, like the e-boy fabulous Rin. We got Lucille and Elma, who both fucking rock, and their outfits are amazing. And now
Scooby bounding.
yeah.
And now we got these little like the Lollipop Guild.
Yeah.
I was gonna say so when we get
they should join the Kindergarten Guardians.
Yeah. When we get to Mushroom Rock Road, we see one of those big kicking machina. Yaibel, Lucille, Elma, and Albed, and 2 little Hypello are there to meet us, and they're like short, and they have like the handkerchief. What do we call it?
Ascot.
The ascot, the red ascot, and little green overalls.
Lederhosen?
Oh yeah,
overalls.
Lederhosen. Yeah, maybe Lederhosen.
It's
They're so goddamn cute.
These little guys.
Lady Yuna! I went to your concert! It was spectacular! I was so moved! Thanks to you, we should be able to resolve our conflicts with New Yevon peacefully. The guys who went to the concert have been going around pushing for a truce.
Yeah, it zooms in on you, and she's like, "That's great." Like,
cool.
Yes. Yeah. Lucille says, "Sadly, there are a great many League members who don't know what to do with their energy. It may sound odd, but they're unhappy about losing a chance to fight." Elma says, "They are ready to blow up, but Commander Lucille thought of this great idea." Like, what if everybody blew off some steam with a battle tournament? And it zooms in on Pain, and she's like, sounds like fun. Pain's like, I get to kick some more ass. Let's fucking go, dude.
Thunderdome, dude.
Also, like, I feel like the character models in this section, it goes into that mid-range character model where they're like better than normal for whatever
reason. They're not
reason.
quite FMV quality, but they're not low poly.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone gets their high. I think all of YRP gets their high poly models for their close-ups.
Yeah. But Riku's like, "Oh, Uni, maybe we should enter." And Elma's like stoked about it. She's like, "Yeah, that would be so cool." Yaibel's handling registration, so if you're competing, talk to him. And then they do their little salute to you, and then kind of walk away. And
I
they
don't
run
want
off
to talk
into
to
the
Yibel.
I know. I never want to talk to this fucking guy. I want to talk to Yibel when he is actually Lloyd from Tales of Symphonia, because they also share a VA. Or I'll also settle for Robin from Teen Titans, because not my favorite character on Teen Titans. I'm a Raven man. Anyone who knows me could guess that. But Robin was pretty cool. Yibel says, will you be competing in the tournament? And you can say, you bet, or sometime soon. If you say sometime soon, which apparently I did because I'm like, fuck you, Yibel. I said, understood, sometime soon it is. Yeah, I think I just went around to talk to the little Hypello as well. Let me see if they say anything good.
Yeah, they say, are you participating in the tournament?
and they sure do say something good.
Yeah, one of us says, we are the newest members of the Youth League. Sorry, Chief Tobley.
Yeah, sorry, Chief Tobley.
Yeah, they just abandoned Tobley, which, like, fair.
Speaking of a very, very, very short aside, speaking of the Teen Titans, I don't really know anything about superheroes. It's not really my bag or whatever. However, I do like that there is a character, or I guess, is he called this in Teen Titans? I don't know. I saw it in a movie the other day. But apparently there's a cyborg man named Cyborg.
Oh, yeah. Yes. He's in Teen Titans, for sure.
And I love it when a thing is named the thing that it is.
Yeah.
And I was like, Cyborg is a cyborg. That's fantastic. I will never forget his name. So, critical
you can
support
call
to
me
that.
Old Man. Yeah. Oh, I'll never remember that. Yeah, but one of the Lil Hypello says, we could not say no to Miss Lucio, which I love, because I mean, yeah, we talked a lot of fluff about Lucille and Elma last season, right? Like we are thoroughly fans of those two ladies, those two powerful ladies.
They're more powerful now that Classico has done his own thing.
Yeah. They're more powerful now that they got to hang out in the hot springs, and they
Elma killed the original Chocobo Eater. Don't forget.
Goddamn right she did. Fuck yes.
And now we get to.
I forget 95% of the story of Final Fantasy X or Final Fantasy X, but I do remember that Elma and Lucille like killed the Chocobo Eater.
Looks like I'm looking at the different diversions. Like if we had not like given the sphere to the Youth League.
Oh, okay.
Though this mission does not exist if we
no
side
shit.
with Youth League. Yeah.
Damn.
Oh wow.
Damn, it's a good mission.
But you will sometimes have to like randomly encounter fighting Youth League members on this road, though, which is cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. Well, yeah. So we go in, and so Lucille is addressing several Youth League members, and she says the High Summoner unit has graciously agreed to help test our strength. Step forward if you're confident in your skill. And Yibel immediately runs up and he's like, ooh, I wanna do it.
Yeah.
Like freaking out. And he takes a second to like
I too accept the honor of entering the tournament.
Yeah.
I will never forget the day I was allowed to challenge Lady Yuna.
That's pretty accurate too.
Thank you.
You're just doing Kevin.
The reason I hate him so much is because his voice is very similar to mine, so I'm just being a fucking hater of myself.
How fortuitous.
Read issue 291. Very well. All units take your positions, and then we get mission time. Youth League tournament. Defeat the Youth League's finest in a no-holds-barred fight to the finish. Do you have what it takes? Commander Lucille will be the judge of that. Objective, win 7 battles in a row.
And the first up is Yibel and two other Youth League members.
I get to realize my dream of beating the shit out of Yibel.
Finally.
Yibel went down so fast.
Yeah, I didn't even get a chance to see like what his deal is.
He has a hilarious deal. Every time he does a move, it says like "sorry" on the screen.
Oh, that's really good.
It's very funny because I made sure to attack the other members first because I like wanted to see what his deal was. And when he did, he like apologies, sorry, and like
I think I just did one quick darkness and just took them all down, and I was like, well. Oh, here's the reason I don't like him. The designer is Tetsuya Nomura.
Who's that?
I don't know. Some asshole. Yeah, man, we talked so much shit about Nomura.
A man who's been doing nothing but knocking it out of the park recently.
I feel like people might not realize that it's a bit, and people might get pissed off. We have like literally nothing but respect for Nomura.
Critical support for concept artists to become showrunners and like
for their contribution to fashion, which he absolutely has.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So Yibel goes down pretty quick, like you all said. He's a pushover. And then we basically worm our way through Mushroom Rock Road, fighting several like battles with Youth League members.
I'm just looking up to see if what his actual like stats say.
I was trying to see that too. I do like that after you beat him, he's just laying on the ground.
Is there anything else?
So if you scan him, it says, a warrior of the Youth League, he is thrilled and honored to meet Yuna in manly combat. His skills are wanting, but you should see his savings.
I should see his savings.
What?
Can you like
What does that
steal a
mean?
bunch of
His
gil from him?
savings.
Like,
Yeah, what are some steal options? You can get common steals, mega potions. Great, I guess. And item drops, champion belt, black tome. You can also bribe him for nothing.
for nothing.
Okay,
Ability,
then we get
Blessed Gem, Chocobo Wing, Mega Potion, Petrify Grenade, Shining Gem, Soul Spring, Supreme Gem. Okay.
It's not that impressive of a savings. But anyway, we do several other battles. There are
we do. The next one is probably my favorite character model in the game because it's a
Yes.
guy who just kind of runs in. Before each of these battles, there's like just nondescript enemies, but it has like a close up on them, and they're holding swords and they're ready to fight. And we get the like Stone Cold Steve Austin glass shattering right before the battle starts. But his face, he's just got like a really shitty, dirty mustache.
Yeah.
and like I love the way this guy looks. He looks so good.
I think
I
I dropped the link I got in the chat because it's just him pogging.
It just looks like he's like, like like fucking Weird Al in UHF when he's dressed like Rambo.
I tried to get one, but I was too late on the button. I was like, fuck.
I saw it. I was like, I fucking love this guy. I feel bad I have to kick the shit out of him.
But anyway, we go through. Once we've beaten 5 battles, I think our 6th one, we come to that.
Elma?
It's Elma. So we fight Elma. And
Yes.
actually, like, Elma was kind of tough. Like, not
Elma's
like
got hands.
Elma's got hands. The
She
thing
also
is,
has hell of a battle cry.
She says, all right, it's Elma time, but it's spelled AWRIGHT. All right.
She says, Lady Yuna, give me all you got. And she has Mighty Guard, and that's like the big issue here. Is that so she like casts Protect and Shell on everybody in the battle, and she has 2 elite members with her. And the elite members are just normal enemies, but they do have a skill called Critical Attack that just does like a solid 600-700 damage. And like right now, I have characters who have like 1,300, HP at the lowest kind of. So like 2 of those will take you out. So like it's not free. And with the guard on, it's like the battle goes a little bit longer anyway.
I feel like another reason why why it might be a little easier for us. Like I would love to come here in like a low percentage run and just see how she is, because she's like level 22. I think at this point like most of my characters are like level 40.
Oh really? Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, level 22. HP 1640. You can steal Phoenix Downs and Mega Phoenixes as a rare skill.
Nice.
Actually, I could tell you what level I am. Yeah, like 42.
You can bribe some Supreme Gems from her. You get 5 of them, but it's 1 million gil.
Oh my god.
Which I have never had in this game.
But so after we beat her, Lucille commends her on doing well, and she's like, is no one else gonna step forward to fight the challenger? And Riku like shrugs and is like,
I like how she tells Elma to learn from this defeat as well.
Yeah.
Who will be next? What? Will no one step forward? Well, I guess we're done.
You're forgetting someone.
Me? Lady Yuna, if I may?
I'd be honored.
The honor is mine. Please be gentle.
And we get in a match with Lucille. She was not as bad. This is where I developed my new strategy for the fucking rest of the game, which is just to like wait until Trigger Happy is ready for Yuna, and then just start popping the R button, and then use my thumb to hit A while I'm doing that, so that like Riku and Pain always hit with like a 20 chain right in front of it. So I'm like, ba 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 ba, and then they both hit for like 4,000 damage, and I'm like,
nice.
That's how I'm playing the rest of the game right there.
What is what are you rolling with Riku?
I have Yuna Gunner, Riku Psychic, and Pain Alchemist.
Nice, cool. That's an interesting. I'm doing the same thing basically. I'm doing Lady Luck. I've been with Yuna, so Yuna's just been doing the 4 dice, which will just she rolls 4 dice and you get like anywhere from, I guess, like 4 to 24 or whatever the math ends up being. So you get a big chain like that, and it does like maybe 50 to 70 each hit, but more so the chain. So I'm doing essentially the same thing.
Okay.
And with Pain, I have Dark Knight, so she's just dealing a bunch of damage. And Riku is my alchemist that I just have popping off mega potions each turn just to make sure I'm topped off.
I got afraid of using Dark Knight because I was like, I'm getting too close to mastering it, and I don't want to.
For sure.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to use a dress sphere that I've mastered because then I'm not getting AP. So let me switch to a bunch of shit that like is fine, but I don't really care too much about.
Here's what I did. I mastered the Dark Knight with Pain, and then I switched immediately to the Berserker with Pain, which is at like 3%. So now I'm just doing that each turn. I'm casting Berserk on her and just letting her do her thing as I'm rolling up chains like crazy.
I forget what class, but I have Assault as a command.
Warrior.
Yeah, so everyone gets like Berserked haste.
Oh yeah, and like haste
like
and
that.
shit. Yeah, that shit's good as hell.
Which is like once I get everyone like queued up, like I'll just do that and like basically auto battle.
Yeah, the auto battle thing is pretty nice.
But Lucille's scan says a warrior of the Youth League. In Nuja's absence, she is its most powerful member. They say no one has ever seen what is truly in her heart.
Oh,
Tsundere.
We beat her, and she says it's not like I like you.
She calls us Baka, and we're like, fuck. Common drop Circlet, rare drop Circlet, so that's pretty good. I forget what that does,
but who cares?
I'm trying to see if there was anything interesting in these things. Like, I feel like we're pretty much just kind of. Apparently, she'll use chocobo feathers to speed herself up with haste, and light and lunar curtains for protect and shell. And as her HP runs low, she can restore 1,000 HP with a high potion. So, seems like she's using some pretty good strategy. But again, we're pretty over leveled. We got the pro strats of using Gunner Yuna, and it's not too big of a deal.
Yeah. But after we beat her, they like congratulate each other on the fight, and Lucille's like, "Now is the perfect time for me to tell you something that has been on my mind. It concerns the Youth League and Spira's future." And then she says, "I don't remember because the game doesn't let you take screenshots."
So yeah, this is
yes.
Why? It's not even a spoiler.
I do not get. I'm gonna just go ahead and blame Nomura. He was like,
his name is right there.
His name's right there.
Yeah,
on the screenshots.
Yeah, on the screenshots in the bottom left corner.
But yeah, it's interesting. It turns into a speech that she's giving to everyone.
Yeah,
which is kind of interesting. Like you think he's just talking to her, but ends up she's talking to all of the Youth League. Which is interesting that now she is acting like commander with Nuj gone. She's now decided to basically dissolve the Youth League, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so her speech, which we see like a kind of slow pan, like I think it crossfades to the base. We see a slow pan starting at the flag, looking over. We see like the top of the base, which is the cannon that they use the fights in, and then eventually we see her like on the balcony addressing everyone.
When the calm arrived 2 years ago, it echoed deep in the hearts of Spira's youth. With Sin's defeat, we had lost not only our mortal enemy, but also our purpose in life. The Youth League is in danger of becoming a mindless band of thugs that know only violence. Our power exists so that we may cut a new road to a new age. An age where children will never have to lift a sword.
Oh, yeah. So, by the way, while she's giving the speech, those kids are whacking each other's swords while everyone else is paying attention to her.
Yeah. She's like, we want an age when, like, children are not fighting with swords. And, like, there's just two kids, like, beating the shit out of each other.
They're like, boo, stabbing each other.
I want to think that was, like, a side comment she had, like, in a future where children never to lift a sword. Like, she's getting really pissed off at them. Like, you guys settle down.
I'm going to count to 5.
But that is enough for our episode complete. So we get that. And we are forced back onto the Celsius.
Yeah.
We can now talk to Riku in pain.
Yeah.
And I like that Riku says, Commander Lucille makes brother look like a pretty sad leader.
I just love the screenshot that I've taken of it because, like, we have Riku saying that, and just slightly behind her is brother with his like hands at his side, looking like Superman. Just being
I think he's like supposed to be holding his like suspenders, just kind of.
Okay,
yeah. He's just doing his pose that he's done for all of chapter 5 to be like, let's jump in a hole.
Yeah,
I also
he
just
looks
love, like,
so proud, and Riku's just like, God, he sucks.
It's really good though, because she's like, wow, man, this like beautiful and wonderful warrior woman really makes our leader look like a fucking idiot, because our leader's a fucking idiot and she owns.
As he's just standing there snapping his suspenders. Like, it's amazing.
Payne says, could he have changed that much? I think she's talking about Nuge, right? Because of all the discussion about Death Seeker, we know that she was a
That's
part
right,
of
because she knows Nuge from before.
As the Crimson Recorder or whatever she was.
Yeah,
her document. Yeah, she was.
But there are still several things to do in Mushroom Rock Road. Not all of which that will even
talk to some Hypello.
So,
like talk to the Lil Hypellos who say, no fiends are slipping past us. We are supposed to oversee the road security. I think I read that out of order.
We are busy following Miss Lucille's instructions.
That's so cute.
They're so cute. I love them.
Yeah, like critical support to this Hypello.
Love them.
But there's enough to do still at Mushroom Rock Road that we're not even going to get to all of it today. Like we have to go come back and do things later.
That's true.
But if we walk back down through Mushroom Rock Road and we go to the Youth League headquarters, or specifically,
it's so annoying that you can't just beam straight there.
I know it is. However, I'm glad that I didn't beam straight there, because did you know? And I just did not look this up. I was just like, I'm just going to look around just to see for my own personal amusement. There's the elevator that lets you up to the Youth League headquarters. Did you find a treasure chest below it?
I don't think I did. No, what's in that?
I was like, I'm just going to look around to see whatever, could be there or whatever.
There's that save sphere that's like on the lower level, right? I think on the way to there, like where we were fighting the tournament. There's like a lower area of that chasm.
It's not there. But it's like when you get
on
to
the way
elevator,
to the Den of Woe, right?
Yeah. This one is actually at the elevator. If you keep going south from it, there's a treasure box, and you get a thing called Machina Booster. And I was like, "What's the Machina Booster?" And it's a key item, and it allows Riku, when she goes into her special dress sphere, to break the damage limit. So 5 digits, let's go!
I am going back to get that, unless I locked myself out of it.
And I was happy about it, because I was just like, I'll just let's see what's down here. It's usually crap, and then I was like, oh, that's really good.
Would have been helpful in a part that we got coming up in a couple episodes.
Speaking of the lift, if we didn't do things like properly, I think.
The lift wouldn't be functional.
Well, yeah, because I think Yibel would just be there instead if we did like, the Yevon side. Yeah, he was like, Lady Yuna, that song of yours really got me thinking. If we had fought war with New Yevon, we would have torn Spear in two, and I might not be talking to you right now. The fact is, the League still remembers who want war.
Yeah, he for sure would have died in battle.
I was going to say he wouldn't have been talking.
That motherfucker would be dead.
Yeah.
But I'll stop them, alone if I have to. I don't want what happened 1,000 years ago to happen again. No, thank you. Just you watch, Lady Yuna. I won't let you down.
And then he just leaves, goes up the elevator and leaves us behind. and Riku says, that was pretty studly.
Studly, huh?
He's all talk, says Payne.
And he's like, bling blong.
But then Yuna says, if there were more people like Yibel around, things could change. We're like, well, you're not wrong. I'm not sure if it was good, though.
Importantly, the thing we have to do now when we're on Mushroom Rock Road is we need to go talk to Lucille, right? Which she is in the Youth League headquarters. And I had never walked around in the Youth League headquarters yet.
Yeah, we've only seen it. It's been locked off to us, and I think we only are technically in it in a cutscene when we bring the sphere to the Youth League.
Yeah. There's a cool rotating sphere in the middle of the room when we go into the main room of the Youth League headquarters.
I did notice the kids out front don't have the swords anymore.
Her dream of a Spiro without kids with swords has finally come true.
One of the kids says, "Is that a?" I think I can't tell if it's a typo or not. It says Kindergardians Youth League chapter member number 13, sir.
That is correct. Yeah, that's what. Just because it's a child talking, so he's like mispronouncing things in a hypello type way.
Okay.
Kindergardians Youth League chapter member number 13, sir. So it's just like a kid fumbling their words a little bit.
Okay.
But there's also a guard like right at the front near the gate who is talking about how like he's no longer going to be fighting in wars. Now he's going to earn like military promotions by fighting for a new Spira and not fighting New Yevon. And he also says, I'm still not used to standing guard without a weapon. So it seems like everyone was really moved by the speech and being like, you know what? Yeah, like we should not be fighting with our like fellow Spirans or whatever. Like we'll put all of our weapons away. That was like, we can leave those old days behind.
Yeah. Lucille, what a legend.
Hell yes. Nuge would have been like, I don't give a fuck what you do. I'm trying to die, baby.
I guess it will be kicking back and relaxing instead of going to war. But I noticed from the screen, we can actually see the balcony that we will be heading to. Where Lucille and Elma look like they're at.
Oh, yeah, you can actually see them in the distance.
I didn't know they were like, there were people there. That's interesting.
Trying to see if there's a cheeky joke here. Give me 1 second. Because there's one of the kindergartians that's running around. I think it's like a joke about a reused asset because she says, this armor is exactly like Hannah's. And it's like the same character model as the character Hannah, who is a part of like Pake's squad.
Great.
Did you see who is in the Youth League headquarters?
Oh yes, Becklum.
Yeah,
Becklum is here.
Our boy Becklum.
He's been doing paperwork.
I like probably unfairly upgraded him to our boy, like solely because he can do a flip. Like,
yeah, I mean,
still
that
an asshole, but like,
yeah.
I'm sorry, Becklum. I was not familiar with your game.
But he has a couple things to say. He says, I've done nothing but paperwork since I got back from Besaid. The reorganization of the league is going smoothly. We're doing our part, so now do yours. And then the third thing he says is, Vidina, eh? It's not a bad name. I think Chapu would have liked it.
Aw, that's sweet. I missed that dialogue, but I'm glad you brought it up. That's cute. I was just like, he said 2 things. That is the maximum amount that any NPC usually says, so I will move on. I will not do my due diligence.
But yeah, if we approach the observation deck, I think.
Lucille's like giving orders to Yaibel and Elma.
Yaibel, your unit will work with machine faction forces.
Understood.
And Yaibel's now, I guess, going to Jose, I'm right? Probably. Or maybe the desert.
I was thinking maybe Beacon. Yeah. He says, understood, and Lucille says, Elma, you and your men will patrol the high road. Only be sure to avoid stirring up New Yevon. Elma says, I'm on it. And then Yuna's just, like, they all take off, and Yuna just says, oh, you seem pretty busy too, Lucille. And Riku says, oh, must be fun to fire off orders like that now that you're the Maven and all. And Lucille says, well, I'm only the acting leader. Yuna's like, oh, acting leader? And she says, that's right. There's only one man fit to be the Maven. Before I forget, this is for you, Lady Yuna. I hope that it will help you understand Nuge a little better. And we've scored the key item, Nuge's Sphere.
Which, importantly, when we try to watch it later, is not called Nuge's Sphere.
It isn't. No, it is not. You got to pay close attention on the menu, or you might be like, where the fuck is it? Did I not get it?
Yeah.
Did I reload the wrong save or something? But no, it is called the Death Seeker Sphere.
Did you watch the Death Seeker Sphere?
I did.
I feel like, in some ways, I think that sometimes I give this game a little bit too much shit. Like, it's actually doing better than I like give it credit for a lot of times. Because like a lot of like the Nuge stuff, or a lot of like the dude group stuff, the Barrel Eye Gipple Nuge stuff, I'm always like, this is so lame. Like, I hate all 3 of them so much, right? And like whenever Nuge says anything, I'm like, get over yourself. And the thing is, like, while I'm watching,
get it. You fucking hate yourself. You want to die.
And while I'm watching this sphere specifically, I'm like, there is a genuinely interesting sci-fi-esque premise inside this sphere. That's like,
it's pretty good.
Genuinely interesting, but I still am just like, God, I hate Nuge.
I don't have too much of an issue with any of the those fellas. I have let bygones be bygones, and I'm enjoying the ride as we kind of see through spheres what the fuck they got going on.
Yeah, it's fair.
We see Nuge sitting at like the conference room table that I guess in the room that we were just in the headquarters
or the war room or whatever some people want to call it.
Yeah.
There's some cool banners on the wall. I didn't really pay attention to them.
Yeah, I guess that's probably the Youth League insignia, right?
I guess so.
Something like that. But Lucille says, "Sir, why don't you get some rest? You look ill." And Nuge says, "Not ill, broken." Which, like, I'm like, ugh, I get it, dude. Yo, hell yeah. Shout outs to Amy Lee. Amy Lee's talking to the lead singer of Seether, and he's saying, "Not ill, I'm broken." My body
is
is
the most like vulnerable I think I've heard. Like Lucy, she's always like really kind of straight laced when her talk. This is her feeling a little bit more kind of wary. Yeah, when she's not like on duty, this feels like.
Yeah, this is all pleasure, baby. This isn't work related.
Sir, why don't you get some rest? You look ill.
Not ill, broken. My body is half machina. I'm kept alive beyond my time. Calling me unsent would only be half wrong.
See, I think that's interesting.
Yeah, for sure. That's
I think that is cool. That like he is like mostly propelled by machina. Fantastic.
I wonder how much of that is like him being like, "Oh, I'm practically a ghost." I wonder how much of that is like technically true in the like science of the game.
He's actually
world,
1/16th
like,
ghost on his mom's side.
Yeah, or is it a thing where he's just like, "Oh, I got 2 feet in the grave"? It's like, no, you're alive. You're just being a fucking asshole.
He was in his 20s, I think.
I
he's the ancient age of 28 in RPG.
I mean, in Final Fantasy, that is almost
in Final
dead.
Fantasy time, yeah.
But I do like I choose to take literally that he is like a corpse being powered by machines.
Oh, that is much cooler for sure. Yeah,
that's sick as hell.
I also agree that is cooler, and that is maybe what they're going for. But I'm also like, it is Nuge, and he is kind of a fucking dweeb.
Yeah,
so that might be cooler than he actually deserves credit for.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean by that.
Yeah.
He's 21 years old. Sorry.
Oh my fucking god, I hate this guy. I take back any nice thing I said about him 10 minutes ago.
He's now able to drink, wearing his stupid onesie. He doesn't look like much Machina now that I think about it. Looks like he just has a leg brace on.
He's got like a fake leg, right?
It's like internal, maybe. Yeah, he's like the
he's
Terminator.
Got the Tony. Tony Stark is half fucking Machina because he has the stupid heart thing or whatever.
I'm just paying attention to his model. I'm realizing his fake leg actually only starts like at the shin. Like everything else looks like it's just kind of supporting it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I think he's being a dramatic baby, but... Lucille says, "I haven't heard you talk like that for quite a while." Nuge says, "Even now, there is something inside me that craves death." Yeah, it's called depression, dude. Come on, go see a therapist. Could it be my flesh wants freedom? Or maybe the cold machina inside it wants company?
That's a good line.
It's a really good line. It's really good, yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, if I played this shit when I was like a teenager, like an angsty
This is some Philip K. Dick type stuff.
I would be dressing as Nuge for Halloween like I did with Vincent Valentine when I was 16. I need to find that picture and I need to post it somewhere. But yeah, Nuge goes on and he says, "Or perhaps it's something else inside me that despises life." Also really cool. A really cool line. Lucille tries to interject by saying "sir," but he goes on and says, "Something wrong with a leader that seeks death." And now I'm just reading it in Jonathan Frakes' voice. God damn it. Could it be that there's a leader who seeks death and is more machina than man? We got you.
No,
he's just a baby.
Yeah, completely fabricated.
Lucille says, "Were you not the Maven, I would knock some sense into you." Super cool of Lucille.
Awesome.
It like zooms in on his face a little bit and he says, "It's quite absurd, really. I profess to seek Spira's true nature, and I do not even know my own."
Yeah, like I feel like when Nuge is being poetic, I hate it. But when he's just being like, when he's being creepy, I'm like, yeah, cool.
Yeah, I feel like he could have been a really interesting like analog to Seymour, I guess, like someone who's kind of feels like a kind of tortured and kind of an outcast.
Yeah, he is kind of a good like foil to Seymour as well, because he's kind of got the same. If we believe this like at its face, like the unsent thing, the undying, but versus Seymour, where he's like, "No, I'm just trying to do this to be immortal." He's like, "No, I want to die as soon as possible. I should be dead, but I do unfortunately still have work that I need to do, which is for the good and the benefit of the benefit of.
I'm
Spirit.
21 and I do not need to deal with this.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm looking at the other things he's done, and I think he's played Superman in a few TV shows. Interesting.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he's there playing Superman 64. I'm like, well, that's why he wants to fucking die. That game sucks. That game
Did
sucks.
you play that game on stream?
I did, yes, and I tried to beat it, but there's some... If you think fucking... Okay, rant time. If you think getting 100% in Final Fantasy X-2 is bullshit, just play Superman 64, because you have to play it on hard mode for every level, which I don't even know the difference of it, but it's hard enough as it is on the normal mode. But in order to get the last mission, you have to play through it all on fucking hard mode, I'm pretty sure. So I got to, like, the last normal mode mission, and then it was like... Go through and beat it all on hard. It fucking ghosts and goblins you at the end of it.
Oh, really? No.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, well, I was gonna beat this whole game, but fuck that. I will need a lot of money thrown my way to do the full thing. So fuck that.
Oh my god.
Oh, interesting. He took over for Lance Bass as Sephiroth for a while.
Oh wow, interesting. He should also take over for Lance Bass in the upcoming NSYNC tour.
Yeah.
Actually, no, fuck that. He should take over for Justin Timberlake. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, is there a member who just constantly wants to die?
Yeah, Justin Timberlake, I assume. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, this is like really interesting. Just interesting wrinkle to Nuge's character that I don't think is going to pay off.
Yeah. Like most things in Final Fantasy X too, it probably doesn't pay off.
And whether it's us, how we play it, or how it was written.
Right. Exactly.
Like if there was a sequel to this game, or like more spheres.
Yeah, they should make a 10-2-2.
10-2-2.
Or 10-0 even, like just kind of like how it happened before the events of 10.
There's a
I would love to play a game where you just play as like Jekt and
and
Braska and shit and Auron. That would be so rad.
There's a drunk mechanic and you have to like try not to punch a shoe puff.
The entire time you're walking as Jekt, you have to hit the L and R buttons to like keep your balance.
It's like in Saints Row where you just kind of go on these rampages and stuff.
I was gonna say,
what are we doing?
Yeah,
we watched the Sphere.
Speaking of 10-2-2, another side story. The app that I use to make pixel art with, whenever I duplicate a image, it just adds space 2 to it, like on the end. So if I make like an image and it's called like Untitled or whatever, and I duplicate it, the next one's Untitled 2, and if I duplicate that one, it's Untitled 2-2, and it keeps getting
fantastic,
longer.
wonderful.
So, and like usually, like instead of making a new canvas, I just pick an old one that I've done and just erase everything on it. So right now, the current like image that I'm drawing on when I make pixel art is like Untitled 22222. It's just like across the whole
You're gonna
screen.
hit a character limit that is like a weird deep operating system like thing that they thought no one would ever have to hit because it's like 1,000 characters. But yeah, if we look at the Deathseeker sphere again in like the menu, instead of it saying like, oh, there's no date or time on this, it'll now have the description. Catches Nuge in a more personal moment. Though a Deathseeker no more, he senses something within that still yearns to die.
Damn, Zan.
He's just blasting the Andrew WK song, Ready to Die. Like I did when I was, how old is he, 21?
Yeah.
I feel like I had the same thoughts about life and death when I was 21 and very depressed. So I'm giving him shit because I relate to it.
I do like this.
I've grown from it. I'm like, get over it, dude. Come on.
Get over it. Come on.
You got a beautiful lady who is in love with you. You gotta straighten up for her.
Is that Alex just put something in the Discord?
It's from Pixlogica Final Fantasy.
Okay. It's a very cute chibi Nuge that I enjoy very much.
Oh my god, he's so cute. Like,
well, that's a Nuji Wooji if I've ever seen one.
Yeah. But
I also like on the wiki it says alternate names as Nuji Wooji.
Oh hell yeah.
his aliases.
I think that's probably where we're gonna end it today, though, right?
Yeah, we got a big chunk coming up next because now that we're done with all this Youth League shenanigans, now we gotta go do some New Yevon shenanigans.
Well, we gotta do some deep dark secrets, baby.
You know what I've been kind of missing a little bit with my charm bangle from Final Fantasy X-2? The battle system's so good. I really wish I could get into some battles again instead of just doing all this lore cleanup. I mean, I guess we did do like the 7 battles in a row where 2 of them were kind of cool, but I want something that really challenges me. You know?
2 were kind of cool and 1 was Yibel.
Exactly. So hopefully next week we get into some battles.
I do believe we will, and I don't think we'll have much of a choice.
Yes. For the listener, if you're playing along at home, we're going to be going through the Via... What's it called? The
Via
Infinito?
Infinito?
Infinito, the Via. We're going to Bevel.
The Mars Volta album.
Yo, hell fucking yes. I should listen to
Deloused New Yevon, yes.
But yeah, we're gonna be going through that. I think we'll be going down like 20 floors. We've alluded to this on prior episodes. I think just about this. I think we did at least.
I would say if you're playing along, you can go ahead and go to Jose Temple and do that mission. I don't think we'll get much further than that.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right. Well, that sounds just delightful.
Wunderbar.
Do y'all have anything else you want to say or plug coming up?
Congrats on Team Mog.
Yes.
Even though we technically said it last week.
We called it. Yeah, we called it. We knew it the whole time. I think that makes 6 out of 7 relays for friend and former guest of the show, Mr. Zwanzig. His
and
team
only
winning.
one for you, Curtis.
He can't be beaten.
He only knows how to win. That's all he knows.
It's all he knows. Wait, Curtis, are you one for one?
I don't remember if my team won or not, to be honest with you. I don't think we did. I think we actually got second.
Oh, yeah. I think,
right.
well, when I did the only relay race that I did in the Souls charity marathon years and years ago, where I did Demon Souls, I technically won my race because there were donations that came in that made my opponent Mi'ihen have to watch cutscenes at the end of the game. So Mi'ihen did watch like a solid 5 minutes of cutscenes while I got to catch up, and we were both fighting like the true final boss like at the same time. So but I think then my team got thoroughly fucking stomped.
I still have those 2 shows coming up. 8 Static on the 7th.
The 7th, yes.
Yes, and the Mountain Chief show on the 20th. So come to those
next week.
Yeah, you can find like details on my Twitter and stuff. So
Ask a Punk.
I will be going to MagWest this year. So if you are in the San Jose area, the last weekend of September, I'll be there. Come say hi. That's all I got.
San Jose.
I got exactly 1 comment on my YouTube video, my most recent Elden Ring one, that said upload Dirge of Cerberus, so that might actually happen now because I just need 1, I guess. So I have all those videos. I honestly might just throw them all up on my YouTube, which you can follow. You can follow, you can give some likes and comments, which will make me, even if you just say like, you don't even have to say anything, you can just fucking say a meme from the podcast. But just say first, even if
who
you're
else
not first.
listening in 2024?
Who else listened in 2013? Just post that. But the more number go up on that, the more likely I am to actually upload shit to YouTube. So it's a lot of effort and a lot of work for very little
The
return.
heart of man is complicated.
Yeah, exactly. So, but aside from that, just streaming on Twitch as always. Going to be getting back into Dark Souls speedrunning very soon. Been learning Blighttown Skip, so
finally time to learn Blighttown Skip.
God, it sucks to learn so much, dude. But yeah, I don't know. Remastered also just got a move swap glitch found, which is momentous because that game has been out since 2018, I think, and we've always said that it's not as good as Prepare to Die Edition because there is no move swap, and they just fucking found another move swap glitch in it. So I don't know. I might go back to that for a little bit as well, but who knows?
Get some achievos, rack up some time on Remastered on your Steam profile.
Yeah, true.
Well, I'm glad you're all here. I would like to talk about the recent string of incidents occurring on the high road. Alex, if you would discuss the circumstances surrounding the hover crash.
I would be honored. Your Honor, thank you for listening. Thank you, Noriko Matsuda. Thank you, Tako Gucci, for the game music. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to wherever you're listening to us, and follow us at EveryFNFF on Twitter /X/Blue Sky/Instagram/YouTube, and hop in our Discord to discuss things that we maybe forgot to talk about or correct us. Anyways, my body is half podcast. I'm kept alive beyond my time.
A true hell.
Let him die.
You gotta get ready to die. Get ready to die.